When you say Sheryl Swoopes, Caitlin Clark, it's like, oh my goodness, Cheryl doesn't like her, so let's see what this is about.
Did Sheryl Swoopes really say Caitlin Clark is 25 years old, takes 40 shots a game, and needed an extra year to break scoring records?
But let's also talk about how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right?
Girl, be serious. Is this basketball analysis or stand-up comedy? Because the only thing she's breaking is the internet with nonsense. But don't worry, Cheryl Miller just pulled up, grabbed the mic and said, "Come on, you big dummies." And honestly, we've been waiting for somebody to say it. The WNBA legend didn't just shut it down, she burned the whole narrative to the ground. Facts, fire, and straight up embarrassed swoops on live TV. This isn't just beef. This is a full-on roast. And the best part? Cheryl Miller did it without even breaking a sweat. So if you're tired of the weird hate toward Caitlin Clark and ready to hear the truth from someone who actually knows the game, stay right here. Because Cheryl didn't hold back, and neither are we. Stick around because we're not just breaking it down, we're tearing it apart. Every shady comment Sheryl Swoopes made, every fake stat she threw out, every time she got caught backpedaling, like she forgot the internet has receipts. And of course, that legendary moment, Cheryl Miller looked straight into the camera and said, "Come on, you big dummies."
I was like, come on, you big dummies.
Before we get into all the action, take a quick moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll always stay updated on the latest WNBA news, big moves, and game breakdowns just like this. Don't miss out, we've got you covered. So go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's jump right in. Let's not rewrite history. Sheryl Swoopes was a trailblazer, WNBA royalty. One of the greats, her name sits next to the best. Her jersey deserves to hang in the rafters. There's no denying that she helped pave the way for a lot of what women's basketball is today. Respect where it's due. But lately, she's been out here sounding less like a basketball legend and more like a salty relative who peaked in high school. Instead of dropping game knowledge, she's been dropping pettiness. Instead of inspiring the next generation, she's busy side-eyeing them like they stole something from her purse.
This isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
From the moment Caitlin Clark started lighting up arenas, breaking records and selling out games, Swoopes got triggered like someone canceled her Netflix subscription mid-show. And the wild part? She wasn't even subtle about it. She came out swinging loud, wrong, and confidently. It was like watching a Hall of Famer transform into a hater in real time. And not the fun kind, the kind that just says stuff to say it, hoping someone, anyone, will agree. Swoopes went full-on Clark truther, acting like Caitlin was some 29-year-old intramural baller dominating high school teams. She made it sound like Clark showed up with a cheat code, a time machine, and a stack of fake birth certificates. Seriously, what game tape is she watching? Is it just a loop of Caitlin hitting logo threes and smiling? Because that would explain the bitterness. It wasn't just one wild take either. It became a whole saga. One minute she's questioning Clark's stats, next she's implying she's too old, and then she flips it again by saying she won't dominate in the league. Spoiler alert, she did, from day one. You know it's bad when you start sounding like those Facebook uncles who think every young star is overrated because they didn't play in Chuck Taylors and call their own fouls.
About NBA where you played 10 years and I played 20 years. That's not the same. This is, we can only play 4 years, right?
Yeah, and
there's no
so in the COVID year,
COVID year I get to play and oh, COVID happened.
And when the facts didn't support her claims, when Caitlin's actual age, stats, and rookie performances went public, you'd think Swoopes might walk it back, right? Maybe issue a little, "my bad," or at least fall back? Nope. She said, "Let's double down." Like a gambler at a cold blackjack table, she kept pushing chips on a busted hand. Suddenly, she was everywhere. Podcast here, hot take there, salty tweet, surprise appearance on someone else's live stream. It felt like she was on a world tour called the Why I Don't Like Caitlin Tour. And trust me, nobody was buying tickets. The thing is, Sheryl Swoopes didn't just disagree with the hype. She actively tried to tear it down. And in doing so, she started chipping away at her own credibility. That's the part nobody wanted to see. This wasn't just a basketball take gone wrong, it was a legacy slowly unraveling. Because when the younger generation sees a legend hate instead of uplift, that hurts the whole game. Instead of being a mentor, a voice of experience, or a symbol of excellence, Swoopes started looking like someone who couldn't handle the spotlight shifting to someone else. And it's unfortunate, because she didn't have to do this. She could have stood tall, supported the growth of the sport she helped build, and said, "That kid is special." But instead, she chose bitterness. She chose clout chasing over class. And now, it's like watching a Hall of Famer fumble her own legacy live in HD, with every new clip only making it worse. But don't worry, because someone finally stepped up and said what we were all thinking. And her name is Sheryl Miller. Now let's talk about Sheryl Miller. A real one. The original GOAT. The blueprint. The queen before there were even crowns. The kind of legend that didn't just play the game, she rewrote the rules while breaking records with a smirk on her face. She wasn't out here clinging to her glory days or subtweeting the next generation. She wasn't desperate to stay in the spotlight. She wasn't chasing clout or jumping into every trending topic just to stir the pot. She was sitting back, sipping her tea, watching the game unfold until the noise got too loud and the lies too messy. And that's when Sheryl Miller did what legends do. She stood up, stepped in, and shut it all the way down. She pulled up to the All the Smoke podcast like a quiet storm and dropped the hammer on the foolishness with one legendary line. "Come on, you big dummies." The room fell silent. Grown men nearly choked on their drinks.
And Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies.
The internet went full caps lock. Twitter turned into a block party. TikTok, instant remix. You could practically hear Sheryl Swoopes' microphone quietly unplugging itself in shame. Because that wasn't just a clapback. That was a cultural reset. That was the moment the nonsense got sent straight to voicemail. Sheryl didn't need a speech, she just needed 5 words to bring the house down.
Look, as much as she was given, you can't tell me if that door would have swung the other way where she didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
Come on, folks are still waiting for it to fall.
Exactly.
When a legend like Sheryl speaks, you don't just listen. You grab a notebook and highlight everything in red. That quote didn't just trend, it got engraved into basketball's Mount Rushmore of mic drops, right up there with Kobe and Ball Don't Lie. And just like that, Sheryl reminded the world who's really in charge of the truth in women's basketball. But if you thought she was done, oh no, we're just getting started. Let's talk about the cold, hard facts next. Let's set the record straight and drag these fake narratives into the light like laundry day on a sunny afternoon. Caitlin Clark is 22, not 25, not 30, not some undercover veteran moonlighting in the NCAA like it's a YMCA league. She's fresh out of college, barely old enough to rent a car without extra fees. This ain't AARP eligibility. We're talking about a rising star, not someone looking for a senior discount. She averaged 22.7 shots per game. Not 40, not 50, not whatever number Sheryl Swoopes pulled out of her feelings that morning. Unless you're counting layup lines, practice drills, halftime trick shots, and a few imaginary ones from NBA 2K, that number is just wrong. Sheryl must be watching a Caitlin Clark highlight reel on Fast Forward and thinking it's one game. And let's talk about this extra year nonsense. This idea that Clark only broke the NCAA scoring record because she had more time? Straight up false. She did it in 4 seasons. Same as Kelsey Plum, same as all the greats. She didn't even take advantage of the COVID year that was available to her. She left money on the table, walked away, and still shattered records like they were made of glass. That's not extra time, that's extra talent. That alone should have had the haters zipping their lips, putting their mics down, and quietly exiting the room. But no. Instead of sitting down and reevaluating, they doubled down like a gambler on a losing streak who's convinced the next hand will save them. Newsflash, it won't. But if you think this was the end of the misinformation campaign, think again. Because the next chapter in the hater playbook, oh, it gets even more ridiculous. Whoa, you've made it this far. That must mean you're really enjoying the video, right? So why not take a quick second to hit that follow button? It's totally free, super simple, and helps us keep bringing you more awesome content, especially if you love the WNBA. Whether it's game highlights, player spotlights, or behind-the-scenes moments, we've got you covered. Plus, by following, you'll never miss a beat when it comes to your favorite teams and players. Go on, tap that follow now. All right, let's jump back in. Let's talk about assists, leadership, and how Caitlin Clark made the entire WNBA look different from day one. Here's what they really hate: Clark's not just a scorer, she's a floor general. She led the WNBA in assists as a rookie. She makes her teammates better, and she does it while taking all the heat, carrying the team, and still smiling through it. If nobody wants to play with her, then why is the entire Fever roster playing their best basketball since the franchise was relevant? Newsflash: teammates don't rally behind a selfish player. They rally behind a leader. After Indiana finally snagged their first win, Caitlin Clark was overwhelmed, emotional. You could see the weight of the hate falling off her shoulders. And guess who was there waiting with open arms? Cheryl Miller, the OG, the coach, the one who'd seen it all and still believed. I'm so proud of you. Savor this. Keep being you.
He was getting hit with everything left and right, and I just said, I hugged her. I said, I'm so proud of you. I go, savor this. Use this as a formula. I said, but keep being you.
That wasn't just a hug, it was a moment. It was solidarity. It was the kind of support Clark had been missing from her elders. It was like the basketball universe hit reset. And finally, the right people were in her corner.
WNBA All-Star Game. You spent some time with Caitlin Clark.
Best coaching job ever.
Best coaching job
Best
ever.
coaching job ever.
Sheryl Swoopes' math is next level confusing. Like if she were your calculator, not only would you fail math, you'd be stuck retaking it during summer school, while she confidently told you 2 + 2 = 22. Let's break down her greatest hits, aka the most off-the-wall basketball math ever spoken with a straight face. Clark is 25. Wrong. She was born in 2002. That makes her 22. Unless Cheryl is calculating age in dog years or using a Mayan calendar, this math doesn't check out. She takes 40 shots a game. Wrong again. Clark averaged 22.7 shots. That's not even close to 40. Cheryl must have been watching a 3-hour Caitlin Clark highlight compilation and thought it was one game. Girl, that wasn't real time, that was YouTube autoplay. She needed a 5th year to break the record. Also, wrong. Clark broke the NCAA scoring record in 4 seasons, just like the ones before her. She didn't need extra time, she just needed a basketball and a mission. It's almost impressive how confidently incorrect she is. Like she didn't just get the facts wrong, she sprinted in the opposite direction of truth, like it was a race. It's like she read the cliff notes of a Wikipedia article written by a bitter fan, squinted and said, "Yep, looks legit." The level of confidence combined with the level of inaccuracy is honestly mind-blowing. Like watching someone speed down the wrong highway yelling, "Trust me, I know a shortcut," as they blow past 5 exit signs. At some point, it's not just wrong, it's delusional. But wait, there's more. If the numbers confused her, just wait until we start talking about what really matters. Leadership. Let's move on to how Clark turned a struggling team into a rising powerhouse with nothing but grit, vision, and a whole lot of assists. What separates Cheryl from the rest? She tells it like it is. No sugarcoating, no pandering, just real talk from a real legend. She didn't just say Clark was good, she said she was great, special, next level. She sees the game in 3D. Her passing is elite. She's a thinker, a competitor, a baller. That's how you pass the torch. That's how you recognize greatness without getting insecure about your own.
I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her.
People better get used to seeing Indiana on highlight reels. Because this team, they're coming. Aaliyah Boston in the paint, Clark at the top, and a bunch of fearless young talent all around them. The Fever don't care about your resume. They're here to compete. And Cheryl Miller saw it firsthand. She said it best. This team is fearless, and they're only getting started. Let's stop pretending Clark asked for the spotlight. She didn't beg for it, it found her. She's not chasing clout, she's chasing greatness. And guess what? The world noticed. That's why the hate burns so hard, because no matter what they say, she's delivering. Every night, under pressure, under fire, and still smiling. Cheryl Miller passed the torch like a queen, gracefully, proudly, and with purpose. She said, "Here, take it. Shine with it. Go further than I ever could." She didn't flinch. She didn't pout. She didn't make it about herself. That's royalty. Now contrast that with Sheryl Swoopes, who looked at the same torch and said, "You know what? Let me chuck this thing straight into a dumpster, light it on fire, and pretend it never existed." Like, girl, seriously? Instead of helping the next generation grow, she tried to smother it under the weight of her insecurity. That right there is the difference. Real legends don't get salty. They don't spin narratives. They don't invent fake stats just to knock down the rising stars. They elevate. They mentor. They reach back and lift others up. And most of all, they know that another woman's shining doesn't dim their own light. Because true greatness isn't scared of competition. It's not rattled by change. Greatness knows that legacy isn't about being the only one who mattered. It's about being part of something that keeps growing long after you hang up the jersey. And Cheryl, she gets it. She lives it. That's why she'll always be respected, while the haters keep tripping over their own bitterness.
I didn't know how talented she was and how well she sees the game in a 3D version. Thinker, defensively a lot better than I thought and gave her credit for.
Now let's take it a step further and break down the wildest, most delusional excuses the haters keep clinging to, even when the receipts are staring them in the face. Even with the stats, even with the records, even with the support of legends haters gonna hate. She's overhyped. She's just a shooter. She's only famous because she's white. Number. She's famous because she's cold. She puts in the work. She lights up scoreboards. She makes the game better. You don't have to like her, but you will respect her. And there you have it. The truth has been told, the myths have been busted, and Cheryl Miller just dropped the mic harder than anyone in women's basketball history. If you're still riding with the haters after all this, man, come on, you big dummies. Listen, Caitlin Clark didn't ask for this drama. She just showed up, put in the work, and let her game speak. And Cheryl Miller? She saw that, respected that, and reminded the world what a real legend looks like, one that lifts others up instead of tearing them down. So, if you're here for the truth, the highlights, and the real ones who keep it 100, you're in the right place. Go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below. Whose side are you on? Team Legacy or Team Bitterness? Catch you in the next one.